One of the witnesses, a former Pentagon official, Luis Elizondo, said that the U.S. government has conducted secret UAP and UFO retrieval programs, that it is involved with reverse engineering UAP technology.
The Pentagon has just released new UFO footage today in one of its Senate hearings that apparently has never been before seen and is basically a craft hovering around Puerto Rico and then kind of not being able to be seen, which apparently is due to a change in the surface temperature of the UFO. As it gets close to the water, the temperature of the water starts to replicate the temperature of the UFO. And so on the radar that they're using, it looks like it's starting to dive into the water, but it's not actually doing that. From what they said today, this is something the public hasn't seen before.
Let me be clear. UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries. I also understand the consequences of excessive secrecy and stovepiping. Nowhere was this more apparent than in the aftermath of 9/11. Which many of us remember all too well.
What's good, YouTube? Today's episode title is going to be called Unveiling the Truth. Now, you guys know I like a little bit of extraterrestrial, or you guys know I like a little bit of sci-fi. So today, we're going to dive into the latest revelations from the 2024 UAP Congressional hearing, a pivotal event that promises to reshape our understanding of the unexplained UFOs in our skies. Because what was revealed this week could change everything. Now, at the time of this recording, I say this week, but at the time of this recording, I don't know, you might see this video a couple of days later, but I'm gonna try to get it uploaded for you quick. But anyway, what was revealed is kind of mind-blowing, so I kind of wanted to bring some light to it and see what you guys thought about it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not gonna waste y'all time. We're gonna jump straight into it. On November 13th, 2024, Congress convened for yet another groundbreaking hearing on Identified Anomalous Phenomena, or UAPs. This hearing, titled Exposing the Truth, brought together experts and whistleblowers who accused the U.S. government of concealing vital information from the public. Now, what kind of information would the government be concealing? And is it too much of a question to say that, this is untrue or what? I mean, it's one thing to sit back with your friends and talk about this situation, but when you actually sit down after your sports or whatever you guys do for your free time and you turn on the news, this is what's on the news. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they are talking about. So you can't say, I'm crazy for bringing it to your attention, or I'm crazy, or I'm a conspiracy guy for even discussing this whole situation. This is what they are talking about and why. Now, in this hearing, among key witnesses were Admiral Tim Gallaudet, former DoD official Luis Elizondo, journalist Michael Schellenberger, and NASA's Mike Gold. Each painted a stark picture of secrecy, suppression, and potential extraterrestrial encounters. Gallaudet, a retired Navy Rear Admiral, described firsthand accounts of UAP sightings during military exercises. He recounted on how a video that was showing a UAP mysteriously deleted from all recipients' emails the day after it circulated. Luis Elizondo, the former head of the Pentagon's UAP investigation program, made explosive claims.
Do you agree that it's likely that they are being piloted by some mind-body connection?
Ma'am, I think it is safe to presume here that they are being intelligently controlled because some cases seem to anticipate our maneuvers, and in other cases they seem to, I came across an email where the word stalked was used in a very secure email between Navy officers discussing their ships being pursued by a UAP.
In our previous panel, we had Grush, and he had testified to say that some of these were interdimensional beings. Can you speak on that at all?
Ma'am, I'm not qualified, certainly as a scientist or otherwise, to speculate points of origin. I looked at everything from a scientific perspective. So if you look at, for example, instantaneous acceleration, which was one of the observables of the program that I belong to, ATIP, the human body can withstand about 9 G-forces for a short period of time before you suffer negative biological consequences, blackouts and ultimately redouts and even death. Comparison, our best technology, the F-16, which is this older platform, but one of our most highly maneuverable aircraft, manned aircraft, made by General Dynamics, can perform about 17 or 18 G-forces before you start having structural failure, meaning that the airframe begins to disintegrate while you're flying. The vehicles we're talking about are performing in excess of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Gs.
So are you, I guess, would it be safe to infer that they're living craft?
I'm not prepared at this point to state for the record is something alive or not, because even that definition is hard. There was a time in science we thought that life required oxygen, and we now know that's not true. There are anaerobic bacteria that thrive in oxygen environments that lack oxygen. And also same with photosynthesis. When I was in college, I was told everything is derived from photosynthesis as a form of energy. In reality, that's not true. There are things that live off of chemosynthesis. So we're constantly having to reevaluate our understanding of what the definition of life is.
He testified that the U.S., which is the United States, has operated secretive crash retrieval programs for decades, recovering non-human biologics from crash sites and reverse engineering alien technology. This is what he testified. Now, when you testify, I haven't been to court in a long time, but when you testify, you are under oath, right or wrong. Let me know in the comments when you testify, you in the courtroom, in a professional manner that these people are you under oath or not? That's what I want to know. Let me know in the comments. You heard me right. Biologics, potential evidence of extraterrestrial life, are allegedly in the possession of the U.S. government. And this isn't a new discovery. Elizondo claims it predates his tenure, possibly going back decades. To me, and whoever I'm around, this isn't new information. We can go back to the beginning of time. This is what we talk about. Back in the day, you could get assassinated for speaking about stuff like this. You can get, bad things could happen to you for speaking like this. Now it's out in the open. So what about the people that spoke about this back in the day? And this is just a nutshell of the hearing. You can go and actually watch this whole hearing yourself. It's a long video and it's still going on right now. But, I'm just giving you guys a nutshell of what happened on November 13th. So we're going to go back to this journalist, Michael Schellenberger, highlighted the systemic suppression of whistleblowers. He called for greater transparency and urged Congress to declassify all UAP-related programs. Do you think they're going to do it? I don't. Now, NASA's Mike Gold emphasized they need to break the stigma around UAP discussions. He advocated for scientific inquiry, urging academic institutions to explore UAP phenomena without fear of ridicule. They want to talk about this on the professional level, and we need to know about it, but the government don't think so. So this is what they're pleading for.
It appeared to me that no one at the flag officer level was addressing the safety risk posed by UAPs. Instead, pilots were left to mitigate these threats on their own without guidance or support.
We now have existing and former U.S. government officials who have told Congress that Aero and the Pentagon have broken the law by not revealing a significant body of information about UAPs, including military intelligence databases that have evidence of their existence as physical craft.
So what did we learn? We learned that UAPs are confirmed to be real and technologically advanced beyond human capabilities. We also learned that the U.S. government and perhaps others are allegedly reverse engineering recovered UAP materials. We also learned pilots, both military and civilian, face safety risks due to UAP interference. And we also learned calls for whistleblower protections and bipartisan transparency laws are gaining momentum. Now, do you guys remember this video I did last year about a UFO landing? I believe it was in Las Vegas. And it was a boy named, I forgot, I think his name was, what's the coincidence of this? This boy's name was Angel. I did my research on him after I did this video. And he, remember when him and his father, they called the police, hey, they're landing somebody. It's an 8-foot figure in my yard. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play the clip for you guys right here.
As you know, this is not our first UFO rodeo. We first heard about the incident in early May via the Metro Police grapevine. The incident has a lot in common with other bizarre cases from around the world: an alleged crash, strange beings, and bits and pieces that don't make sense. But the police took this seriously, and so do we. Just before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now investigators have spoken with family members multiple times in the past 4 weeks, but each of the 3 times we accepted their invitation to do an interview, they didn't answer the door or their phone. These are some of the claims they've made in other public forums. Multiple family members backed up the story in an initial police report we obtained. Angel says they heard the patter of multiple feet in the yard. They later heard footsteps on their roof. They saw one of the 8-foot-tall creatures climb behind the controls of a large front loader stored in the yard as if trying to engage it. He got a good look at one of the creatures, he said, a greenish-grayish being with large eyes and long legs. He says he could hear its deep breaths, and when he locked eyes, he was, in essence, frozen in place, couldn't move. In the middle of the yard where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
Okay, where is this on your property?
Metro sources say the police dispatcher initially wondered whether to send a crisis intervention team to help the troubled witness, but then took the incident seriously. 2 officers arrived 38 minutes after the call, and by then had heard from other officers. They proceeded cautiously and managed some nervous laughs.
I ain't dealing with that.
A few days later, the family says 2 Metro sergeants returned to the scene to ask follow-up questions. The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days. Nellis and Creech have denied any interest or involvement with the incident. Metro has indicated they believe the family that something crashed in their yard. But what?
Now this happened, and nobody was really talking about it. I mean, people were talking about it as it happened, but it's almost like this didn't happen. This is his YouTube channel right here, and this is his only video right here. His only video. Weird, right? But look, the chance of this, his name was Angel. I don't know if that's crazy to y'all, but it was crazy to me. His name was Angel. That's crazy. I don't know. Anyway, that was last year, and now we all back at it again. And right now, even right now, this is happening. Nobody's really speaking about what's going on. They're talking about getting signals from the ocean. Let's bring some light to the situation. We need to make this a regular conversation in our household. While skeptics remain, one thing is clear. There's more going on than we're being told. Is this the dawn of a new era of discovery or another chapter in the government secrecy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. And as always, family, stay curious.